From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN Noon News.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us on your Tuesday. I'm Jeanelle Slade. Well, police in Boulder, Colorado are processing the crime scene and trying to figure out what motivated a man to open fire in a supermarket yesterday. The gunman took 10 lives. Omar Villafranca has the latest from Boulder.
Boulder police have identified the man accused of killing 10 people at a supermarket on Monday.
This suspect has been identified as Ahmad Alyssa, 21 of Arvada. He has been charged with 10 counts of murder in the first degree.
Police have identified all 10 victims. They range in age from 20 to 65.
I wish I could stand here and promise that the pain will heal quickly. It won't.
SWAT vehicles, hundreds of police officers, and at least 3 medical helicopters responded to the scene. But the first was Boulder police officer Eric Talley, one of the 10 killed in the attack.
We can never thank Officer Talley or his family enough for their sacrifice, but we will not forget it.
Inside the store, Ryan Borowski told our Denver station KCNC TV no one knew what was going on.
Heard, one loud bang, thought somebody just dropped something, an employee or something, and then another. And then by the third one, everybody was running.
He and others escaped through the loading dock.
So just at that point, it was just run, get out of there, tell everybody to leave. And yeah, that's what we had to do.
Newlyweds Nevin and Quinlan Sloan were also inside when they heard the gunshots.
I pushed open the emergency door, and I think we were the first to be out.
He said he helped people exit from the back of the store.
I was like, dang, this guy could come out and start shooting these guys. I want to make sure they're as far away as they can be.
Stephen McHugh's son-in-law and grandchildren were at the store's pharmacy to get a COVID vaccine and hid for more than an hour.
The shooter came in, shot the woman in front of them. They hid, ran upstairs or hiding in a coat closet for the last hour.
Several people who had been sheltering inside the King Soopers were escorted out by officers.
Half a dozen cops came in through the roof, got them, and then told them, stay quiet, and they're okay.
With such a large crime scene, it could take days before they're able to fully process the scene. Omar Villafranca, CBS News, Boulder, Colorado.
This morning, President Joe Biden addressed the nation about the deadly shooting and urged Congress to take action to pass gun reform legislation. The president also ordered flags be flown at half-staff. Well, it's a mix of weather across our state, so we're going to check in with Miller Robson to find out what's going on out there.
Well, you're absolutely right about that, Jeanelle. As we take a live look currently, we're looking pretty good on the eastern half of Montana, but still seeing some snow in central, southern, and western parts of the state. Remember, we still have a winter weather advisory in effect for Gallatin and Madison counties officially till 6 o'clock tonight. We'll see if that holds on, and that could impact your afternoon commute home. As we take a look at temperatures across, 41 in Missoula, 32 in Butte. We've got 34 in the state capital, down in Livingston at 34. Jordan at 41, Glendive 42. Down in northern Wyoming, we've got 36 in Cody. A little warmer in Sheridan. So we do have this cold front that's out of the state, but we still have this little blast of energy behind it, still with the moisture out there giving us a chance at some snow and maybe even some rain in parts today. But that's going to go away. Does it come back, though? I'll let you know with the main forecast coming up. Jeanelle.
All right, thanks so much, Miller. Some breaking news. We have a traffic alert at this hour for anyone traveling on Interstate 90 near Reed Point in Stillwater County. Now, the Montana Highway Patrol is reporting a law enforcement incident is creating a backup of traffic in the westbound lanes. Montana Highway Patrol says it could be 2 hours before the road is opened. We will, of course, update you on your MTN website as soon as information is available. Livingston police have identified the men involved in a shooting incident on Sunday that ended with both of them dead. Police Chief Dale Johnson says it happened at a home on South 9th Street in Livingston. Police were responding to an ongoing disturbance at the home where several gunshots were fired. Authorities say 41-year-old Ozza Ziegler died from a self-inflicted gun wound, and 23-year-old Jason Cushing died on scene during gunfire exchange. Montana's state budget is rounding into form. The House voted to approve the Republican drafted bill on a party line 67 to 33 vote. GOP lawmakers made one large amendment to Governor Gianforte's original proposal. Excuse me. They cut $4 million in spending on state agency positions that are currently unfilled. Democrats tried to make a few amendments of their own, looking to increase spending for health and human service programs, but all their attempts failed. The bill will be up for one final vote before heading to the Senate. The Biden administration could split its infrastructure plan into two proposals for lawmakers to consider. The president's economic advisors are expected to bring him a plan sometime this week. One bill would invest in manufacturing, transportation, and reducing carbon emissions. The other would focus on paid leave, universal pre-K, and community college. The White House press secretary told NBC News that the president is considering a range of options. Northwestern Energy is updating a substation in Butte and plans to improve the look of the area as well. New transmission poles are being placed on at the substation that provides power to about 6,000 customers. The chain link fence around the station will be replaced with a stamped brick design concrete wall that is meant to improve the aesthetics of the facility off South Montana Street.
One of the main gateways right off the interstate to historic Uptown Butte, and it also is adjacent to the entryway for the Blacktail Creek area. So we're pleased to be able to be part of the work to enhance this entrance.
And those upgrades should be finished by the end of this October. Well, Yellowstone County health officials are jumping the gun and are opening COVID-19 vaccines to all residents 16 and older a week early. Well, that changed because there are still open appointments for this week's clinic at Metro Park. When I checked before news time, there were just about 650 appointments still available. The state reports there are nearly 128,000 Yellowstone County residents now eligible. So far, only 20% are immunized. Now, officials say it takes 70 to 85% of residents to be immunized to protect the community. You can go to mtreadyclinic.org to schedule your appointment for Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday of this week. Governor Gianforte had announced last week that Montanans in this group could start getting their vaccine as soon as April 1st. So Yellowstone County is a little bit ahead of the game. Around 150 Great Falls residents are now vaccinated thanks to a partnership between Alluvian Health and the Salvation Army. Alluvian had 200 doses of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine available, and within the first 2.5 hours had used 140. An Alluvian representative estimates there were about 70 people waiting in line when the clinic opened.
The show that we had for the show of force when they were lined up and waiting to get their vaccine, I think that is just kind of tells us in itself that they were very excited to get the vaccine.
Indian Health Services is getting COVID-19 vaccine into the arms of people they serve as efficiently as any group. IHS leaders say they're outpacing Montana and the entire country. Across the state, IHS has vaccinated 17% of patients eligible through its program. This as some tribes make significant strides in protecting their people. For example, the Blackfeet Nation reports it's vaccinated 95% of its adult population. Tribal leaders credit local nurses for that. Now, several reservations are now vaccinating any Montana adult, tribal member or not, with the goal of achieving community immunity. Well, we have more ahead on your noon news. A look at why volunteers are taking time to hammer out more than 500 pasties. But first, Miller's in next with your statewide weather forecast. Don't go away.